got a lot of shine.
Episode 463 of Fourth and Jawn. It's the Whoa, It's Me 12-3 episode. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Being at the stadium, being there live with Primo, I felt alive. I'm not gonna lie. Like that, those kind of environments kind of like excite me. Not many people want to be out there in 20-degree weather. It takes a real one to be out there and just enjoy the atmosphere. When you lose your but when you lose your quarterback in Jalen Hurts, there's a moment where I was like, all right, let's buckle up. Buckle up, boys. It's about to be a wild ride. And it was a wild ride. Like prior to Jalen getting hurt, we were feeling a certain way. I mean, Primo might have been yapping pretty loud to some of these Commander fans in the back, let them know. But it felt like that vibe. I mean, the way that they were moving, I felt like it was going to be a blowout. But obviously, when you have moving parts, Kenny Pickett plays his first game in years. I thought he played fairly well. But on this podcast, I always say you're only as good as your depth. Next man up mentality is a thing here with the Eagles. But some of the next men that were up, they did miss some plays. I think overall just discipline, a lack of discipline was pretty noticeable. I say a lot of self-inflicted wounds. But I'm a big hat tip to the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels, because I mean this for them is a statement win. Yeah, obviously it's against Kenny Pickett, something we had to also remind Commander fans on the way out as they got in our faces. But again, for them to come back and they seem like they wanted it more at the end. I'll look at some of our own players at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. They did not look like they wanted it more. Obviously, they made some more plays than we did, and it was. I mean, the biggest shocking play to me. I mean, the Smitty drop was pretty. That was a dagger in the heart, because that's a clutch play that he makes. But that is football. I like the way that he answered the question at the end of the game. Chest up. I made a mistake. I dropped the ball. Short-term memory. Let's move forward and learn from this lesson. But obviously, we're 12-3. We're still going to make the playoffs, and they have to move forward. But Evan, have you learned something from this L?
I mean, it's a long NFL season, man. I go into every single year with the mentality that the Eagles are going to cough one up, like I've said in the past, to one or two teams that they shouldn't every year. I think that the fact that we lost our franchise quarterback in the first quarter, and we put up 33 points in this game. The defense, 5 turnovers, man. I mean, they played well. I think that we just couldn't get it done efficiently on offense, obviously, and we were doing it with a backup quarterback. So I'm kind of sitting here. I don't feel awful about this loss. I think that many players on this team showed me that they can play well, they can contribute. The Devontae Smith drop, yeah, it was an absolute dagger. But I'll tell you what, man, Devontae Smith is a player that I would throw to next week again in that situation, because I think 99 out of 100 times he's catching that ball. He just didn't that time, and that's unfortunate. I mean, we've been hearing all year. There's been people that have been, wanting to say that one Saquon Barkley drop against the Falcons. Oh, we would be this record and won if Saquon just made that catch. It's the same sort of situation with Devontae, and those types of things happen. Sometimes you catch the ball, sometimes you don't. But the point is, it's the regular season right now. We're going to the playoffs. I think this roster's still solid. I think we just didn't execute on a few plays, and that was the difference. The bottom line is we played well with our backup quarterback, I thought. I really don't think that this is a loss to really hang our heads too much over. I understand that it was a roller coaster of a game. To be honest, it was a really entertaining game to watch. There was a lot of back and forth, but I think that this is something that it's unfortunate how it played out, but I'm still just as confident in this team as I was last week. I think Jalen will be back. It's a concussion.
You say this is one that you might have chalked up as an L, but
I don't know. I mean, I was actually looking at this one as going to be the massacre part two, man. I mean, the way we were flowing that first quarter, 21, you know, nothing at one point, then 21-7. I mean, it was going on in our favor. The momentum was definitely going our way. Losing our franchise quarterback, in that drive, we didn't see it. You guys probably had a better view of it on TV. I mean, I even had to text my wife, like, what was going on? Like, how did he look?
Didn't even
And
look too
she
bad.
told me he looked pretty bad. I mean, he was wobbling and stuff like that. But again, being there live, you didn't see that. All I saw Jalen was go to the referee, give him a thumbs up, let him know he was still good. He was ready to walk back to the huddle, and then you could see the referee was like really pressing to go ahead and grab him and take him out of the game. Um, that right there was the momentum that changed. I mean, when he went to the locker room, I was telling Gail, I probably spent the rest of the first quarter looking at the tunnel, waiting to see if he was going to come back out. I
Hmm.
didn't even give a shit about the rest of the game because in the back of my mind, like I didn't have no confidence in Pickett. I really didn't. Um, I kept on yelling, "Please, just hand off the ball." Like no passes at all because just under the impression that Jalen was going to come back, but that didn't happen. And I got to say that Pickett played a pretty good game. He played a very well game. He made the game even more interesting than what I expected. Um, yeah, you go back to those misplays, Saquon dropping the one, um, Devontae dropping the other one, CJ getting kicked out. Therefore we had to go to our secondary, safety. Um, it was just like things just weren't going our way, and then like the momentum just kept on changing. And those Washington Commanders, sorry, they wanted it more, man. Like Gail said, they wanted it more. Um, I was chirping. I didn't stop. I didn't stop chirping. I chirped all the way to the very end. But with those 2 minutes left on the clock, I had to keep my chin up because had they, which they did, I had to stand there and take it because I mean I had two rows of people turning around looking for me because that's how much chirping I did. You know what I mean? And I had no choice but to just stand there and take it. We even had one that probably went above and beyond to get in our faces and was like, get the F out of here. And I had to cut in front of Gail, like, I'm really trying to bite my tongue, you know what I mean? And then I just took it and I was like, okay. And then I kind of like pushed Gail, like, he wanted us to leave. Let's leave, man. So we walked out of there and we were getting it on the way out. I was still smiling. But at one point, yeah, my
Emotions
level,
got the best of you.
it got the best of me, and one was like really, still talking about the last game. Like we almost had you in that first game, and then I just like went off on him, and I was probably dropping the F-bomb all the way up the alley, and then he had his boy with him, and then he started getting involved, and I'm like, listen, man, I'm gonna keep talking shit. We looks like we got a pretty long walk here, you know what I mean? So let's just keep going, But look, man, the Commanders, they got the best of it. Definitely got a lot of that at work today, from some of the Commander fans that are at work. It was a well-deserved game, well-played game, but hey, we fell short and we kind of hurt ourselves. I mean, I don't know the whole situation with the CJ. It was a big it was a big piece to the defense that went missing because that last play ended up happening on his backup wide open. I don't know, man. It was just like very frustrating to see, but hey, it's all good. We're gonna rebound, do what we supposed to do this weekend coming up against the team that I hate the most, and what better way than to go ahead and seal the deal against them?
The pain. I can just I hear the pain in your voice. But what's funny about this game was it's a 10-game winning streak, right? We're on a 10-game winning streak. But once Jalen went down, I immediately said to myself, "Is history repeating itself?" So I'm gonna go through the archives of basically what I'm saying. In 2022, 2020, 2017 as well, our quarterbacks, both of those quarterbacks go down. But in 2017, we won the whole thing. In 22, we did. So what this tells me, man, is this team is going to morale together, and they're going to group together, and they're going to figure this thing out. And there was some backbreakers in this game, and I definitely want to point these out. The 4th and 11, when Jaden Daniels scrambled, that was a backbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it, like that it deflated it took the air out of my house. And then the Saquon dropping the ball, Smitty dropping the ball. That, man, I was just like, good Lord. DJ getting thrown out of the game, and then a big penalty on Jalen Carter. That was really, really big. We had the ball, I think, on R40 or somewhere in between there in the numbers. Then the biggest hiccup in this, and the reason why the Washington Commanders won, and none of you said this, Braden Man, you gave the Commanders great field advantage every time you kicked that damn ball. Every time. And then the special teams couldn't tackle worth a damn. They gave up almost 200 yards in special teams, bro. Mm-hmm. McCaffrey looked like his brother out there running the damn ball back in the middle of the damn field. If you look at every time that they kicked the ball, they got the ball literally on the logo on the 50-yard line, bro. Every time. So it goes to show, man, there were some mistakes in this game by the offensive line, too. There was a lot of misdirections where I think Becton was going the other way and Lane and them were going the other way. And the discipline. Like, we can't do that. Like, it's selfish. There's a bigger thing than this. This is bigger than me. This is like us. We're brothers, right? It's 4th and Jawn. It's bigger than me. It's all of us. So if one person makes a mistake or does something else, it looks on and it reflects on everybody. And so those are the things I need for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially the defense, to get through their thick minds. Because and I get it with the whole DJ thing. The thing looked terrible on TV because he didn't say any. Oh, he said something. I'm sorry, he did say something, and then he's the one to get smushed in the face, and then boom, a 15-yard penalty, and then we're behind the sticks. But it goes to show, man. I would love to. But this is the same guy that got kicked out of practice, Doug Peterson, when they did the joint practice a couple of years ago. CJ is the most annoying player in the NFL. I love that because he plays for our Eagles. But other teams don't. And his reputation is starting to get out there. So my hat goes off to the Commanders. It was their Super Bowl because they celebrated like it was their Super Bowl, bro. Like, you see the celebration afterwards? It was crazy. But I will say this. History repeats itself, bro. You're on a 10-game winning streak. You're not going to win them all. This is a 17-game. This is 18 weeks now. So you got the wild card, NFC Championship, and it goes on to the Super Bowl. You're not going to win. You're not going to win 11, 12 games straight. So this loss, I hope it hurts, and it gets them back on the field and be hungry for more.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, the thing is, last time the Eagles lost was in September, and being there watching that game in the heat and seeing them get dragged through the heat and take an L, and then the way I felt, I mean, that team was 5-3. The team is now 12. I mean, 5-2 at that point, but 12-3. Here we sit. But I think the learning lessons that they always talk about in these press conferences, like learning from these losses. I mean, they really do have to learn from this. I mean, as they get into playoffs, I feel like the discipline part is where these little mistakes can't happen in the big games.
Can I flip it around real quick? What you just mentioned, how the last time they lost was in September, right? Mm-hmm. So the last time they lost, how did they respond? They rattled off 10 wins in a row. Yeah, I think that this is the wake-up call that they needed.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not even worried about that. I'm not even worried about the loss yesterday. It's just that, once Jalen got hurt, you had to face reality, and that was reality. You know what I mean? That definitely was reality. The fact that we were up 21.
I thought that they still played well in this game.
That's what I'm saying. You had 21-7, and then even Saquon. Well, I'm sorry. I really can't remember. Gail, help me out. If it was 14-7 and then Saquon broke it to make it 21, or was it
21-7? It was 21-7.
It was 21-7 with the Saquon breakout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm saying though, but then you were just like hoping like for more and more scores to give us a comfortable lead to hold it, because let's be real. I saw a lot of 3-and-outs coming with Pickett. You know what I mean? I saw the defense was eventually going to go ahead and get tired. I was scared of that. I was, because of the fact that we didn't have Jalen. But had Jalen been in that game, and that's what I was telling a few of these Commander fans, Jalen in that game, it's a whole different outcome.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, man.
Facts.
And this defense was so opportunistic, man.
Yes,
I mean,
I was
the interceptions, the forced fumbles, like
yes.
And
I was
the opportunities where the offense was 4-1. Think
I
of that.
saw
We're
a vision of that massacre part 2 coming. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was there.
if Jalen was in the whole game, it would have been there. I mean, we had 21 points in the first quarter.
And you're absolutely correct, because when it's 4-1, we're kicking the ball off. When it's 4-1, you know what time it is. Everybody 111, we gonna do the tush push. And you know what a major factor was, and it wasn't CJ DJ and you know the whole mix up between Slay getting on the field and off the field, and he was hurt, and then it was 12 men on the field. That was wild. But the biggest miss, I think nobody said anything. Josh Sweat wasn't there for the second, the third, and he came in the fourth quarter. I don't know what happened to Josh Sweat, but he was missing. He was nowhere to be found. I'm like, yo, where is he?
Oh yeah, he got
ankle, right? No, that was another one, bro.
That's what you think about. Like, I mean, this is just, it is what it is. It's part of your, only as good as your depth, right? So you know, you have Charles Harris. You have Nolan Smith, and you have Jalix Hunt. That's the fact of the matter. Right? At the end of the day, I mean, I want to go back to that point where you said that that 4th and 11 play, because I just watched it before jumping on, and now me and Prime were watching, and we saw Cooper DeJean fall. Like, he got up real wonky looking. I was like, bro, he is hurt. Like, he does not need to be in there on that play. Could they call a timeout? Something. We were like, call it, get him out of there. We're like yelling, get him out of here. So then on that play, you see him make, like, and I'm not gonna say a business decision, but he wasn't there physically to make the tackle. Like,
are you talking about
the 4th and 11
before the play?
Before the play happened, he looked physically unable to go in that play, but he just wobbled up to the slot, and then I was just like, we got to get him out of here. It's 4th and 11. This is a huge play, and then he go back to see the play, and he misses the tackle.
I'm screaming, fall to the fucking floor, fall down. There was no way he was ready for the next play. Next play pops off, and it was Jaden running like literally right by Cooper. Cooper couldn't even make a cut because he was hurting. And then there it bit us in the ass. You can't stay in the game on that. You got to fall to the ground, whatever. I mean, like, he looked hurt bad. And to stay in there playing like that, yo, you can't be making it. And I'm pretty sure they corrected him on that. There was a lot of corrections that needed to be made because there was a lot of discipline that needed some we needed some serious discipline yesterday, man.
We do. And that's that. But that goes short of, when you're winning, it's like, we got this. Because winning blankets everything. You know what I mean? It blankets the way you practice, it blankets so everything that you're doing, because you want to keep everything the way you want to keep everything as it is. We all play sports, right? What was the one thing that you did before a game? And you did that same routine every time, right? Because you're like, I can't mess this thing up. I wear my lucky socks, or I wear my special Jordans, or my cleats, whatever it is. There's always that thing that you want to do all the time that's like repetition, because it takes practice with this.
Yeah.
The other thing that hurt us too is that you just don't, like, what pissed me off yesterday. Kellen Ringo was in for a play, and it was the play that we gave up that touchdown. You get a penalty. You never give up on a goddamn play, whether the penalty's against us or on us. You never give up on a play. Mm-hmm. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. When that flag came and hit the floor, everybody stopped motion. And what do? You leave the wide receiver wide open, giving Jaden Daniels the opportunity to throw it. I mean, luckily, it looked like it was going to be short, but he got it, and then he was gone. And then Kellen realized that after the fact, tried to go up there and caught him, but then couldn't tackle him and got away. You take that touchdown away, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you what Washington was doing that was kind of, I mean, they were playing a little bit of dirty ball. I'm not sure if you guys were that.
We were
on the broadcast. Yeah, they were playing some dirty ball. There was Jordan Davis ended up going down at one point, and they replay, and they're just going, they're chopping low, chop blocking him, and that was happening to Jalen Carter as well. So I mean, especially on these cold days, I mean that ground is frozen, and you're delivering dirty hits and shit like that. Like that's how teams are going to play sometimes.
Let's be honest, that Jalen Hurts hit with Louisville was dirty too. He was already on the ground.
Yeah,
he dived that in.
On the ground. The one thing that is it's funny, like you know, obviously you'll hear the scripted NFL scripted, like in this.
Yeah.
But I really do feel like the referees, there was an involvement in by the referee. I mean, obviously they're doing their job, right? I'm not saying that it's part of the script. I'm just saying that the referees' involvement in that game was pretty heavy. You could go either side. Each fan base will talk about the Kenny Pickett fumble, which I thought was a fumble. When I looked at it, I was still after the game. I was telling Prime, I was like, "Yo, I thought that was fumble." But they had to make some of these calls. I do think the way that our players are getting targeted now, and Jalen Carter and CJ, it's their play style. Obviously, their coaches are going to tell them about, like, look, you guys already have a target on you. Like, I wish the refs would target the holding calls on Jalen Carter, because it feels like he gets held so much that they just, sometimes they call, sometimes they don't. But obviously, at the end of the day, you just have to sit there and not let the game be close enough that you can allow the refs to affect the game.
Dictate the game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this though. You know what really bothered me about it was, I don't know what's up with our red zone defense. Like, I don't know, and the play calling, like the play calling in the red zone too. Why are we going Wildcat? Why?
Red zone defense?
I said red zone defense and the red zone on offense. Both red zones, both on both sides of the ball. It was just annoying as hell to me, especially the offense.
The Wildcat play
the Wildcat play was wild. I was like, what the hell is this?
I think that they're trying to I went back before, and remember I talked about how Nick Sirianni, he's a player's coach. You think about, I mentioned before about making sure that Boston Scott gets his touchdowns versus the Giants. Those types of things that he does. Saquon Barkley has been making a pitch this year to be the MVP. If you get him a throwing touchdown in there too, that feels to me like that's kind of where my mind went with that mentality. I think Nick Sirianni's like, if I get him a passing touchdown in there too, that's another notch in the MVP belt.
Yeah, I think at the end of the game, or they just started to just like load up the box, and they're like, "All right, Kenny, you beat us," because we're not letting Saquon doing that. But I do think the one-on-one matchups, I thought you could have got Smitty involved a little bit earlier, because it was like the 2-yard run to Saquon or the 1-yard run to through a brick wall, and that wasn't going anywhere. I was like, I could have seen more targets maybe to Calcaterra. Calcaterra didn't have the best blocking day at all, but I do think you still got to spread the targets. I think because I do hat tip to their corners. Lattimore did make some plays here. Then
that was a good matchup. AJ versus
Lattimore got cooked.
No, but I'm saying he did make plays here and there.
He got cooked, man. He got.
But I'm saying he did make it, bro. Go back. He made some plays,
bro. Okay, no. First of all, he led. I think defensive ball players. He led in penalties. He had like 68 yards. He was getting cooked.
Either way, their secondary is a pretty decent secondary. Sammer still. I'm a huge fan of his as well. I thought. I just think you could have expanded on some other players.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room as far as we're talking about losing the game.
I didn't even want to give any props to the elephant in the room. Let it keep on being the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
And entertain that one.
Former Eagle, Olamide Zaccheaus being the 2 touchdown killer versus the Eagles.
Bro, first of all, he ain't scored a touchdown all year. All year,
bro.
I think he had one all year long.
If Zaccheaus wasn't there, who do you think would still be there?
Crowder.
Dotson.
Dotson.
Oh,
would still
Dotson.
be-
Yeah, Dotson. Yeah.
Dotson would still be.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
that's kind of funny that
Dotson and
if
Durant.
Zacchaeus was here, would that been that better option? But obviously, I don't know. One thing just I haven't seen a lot of overreaction from Eagle fans. I think coming out of the stadium, there were fans were feeling a certain way. But have you seen a lot of overreaction?
We have to talk. I think that some people were talking about it on social media and whatnot. But one thing that was a major takeaway for me on watching the TV broadcast, Greg Olson, man.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Oh my God. So anyway, this man,
No
yeah, he kept on mentioning the fact he's like, oh my God, what if I told you prior to this game that the Commanders would give up 5 turnovers and they still have a chance to win this game? He said that like 7 times and just never mentions the fact that Jalen Hurts went out in the first quarter. Like he just kept on saying that. And it's like you're really just leaving out a major piece of context here. I don't know. It was kind of crazy.
I heard he sounded like a fool yesterday.
Yeah.
That's your
Him
boy.
and then there was a couple of I'm not sure if it was ESPN. Yeah, definitely put him in the bathroom. He was no diddying Jalen Daniels too. Like golly, God, this oil, baby, everything, bro. But I will talk about this though. ESPN, are like y'all happy we lost?
This is great for national media. Now they have to talk
Right.
about storylines. I mean, I know Kenny Pickett, he's got a rib injury. Somebody already mentioned it. I'm also a big fan of Tanner McKee and his arm. I'd like to see what he could do. Not that I have to see it, but I obviously always want to see Jalen. But like even when Jalen got hurt, obviously I thought it was a concussion. How many times we were looking at the tunnel for him to come out, like, yeah, he ain't coming. And then after that, it was like, all right, well, this is the test. I do want to see what this team looks like if Jalen goes out. And honestly, it was, it was. I thought it was a pretty decent performance for what it was. But this is the kind of stuff you want to see before you get to the playoffs. Get the guy some reps if he had to goes back in. Obviously, some people just look at it. It's like, oh, this is just a loss. No, there's a lot of people that got some playing time. They'll figure some things out. They'll get ready. They'll have more plays for Kenny Pickett. If he has to go again, it might look a little bit different. What are your biggest concerns after a loss like that?
The health of the quarterback. I mean, to be honest with you, I told you at the top of the show that I feel no different in confidence in this week to last week. I think the only reason we lost that game, the only reason that it wasn't a blowout is because Jalen went down the first quarter. We put up 21 points in the first quarter. We were on our way to roll. So as long as Jalen is back and everybody is healthy, that's all that I'm worried about.
Well, I mean, if there's anything that I'm worried about, because of the way the NFL is and their concussion protocol, if we were to have to play another game where, Pickett is playing, like, I give props. He played a hell of a game, but the team has to go ahead and be behind him in both sides of the ball. You need to play better disciplined football. You need to be better. You need to be more wiser. You got to be smarter, man. You know what I mean? So, like, CJ, like, listen, I'm like you, Tim. Like, I love it because you play for us, but you're a target. And then, Jalen, Jordan, and all these guys are doing their thing. They're a target just as well. The way these guys are playing against them, there's a lot of shit that's being missed. We saw a lot of shit on that field yesterday that was very upsetting. Like, I mean, but it was on both ends. I know me and Gail kept on going back and forth about that fumble. I didn't think it was a fumble. He thought it was a fumble. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. But, I guess just moral of the story is just like if we're gonna go with Pickett one more time, just because if the NFL decides to keep Jalen out one more week, you got to stand by him, man. You got to go ahead and play better ball for that man because I mean he played a hell of a game. I thought he did very well. But you take away those mistakes, That would have been a W. I mean, just think about it. He did a nice pass to Devontae. That was.
If that's caught, he won the game. That's not even a thought.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
not
for
even.
sure.
We're talking about how if it's Devontae. I'm sorry.
Gail brought up a good point yesterday that I also want to just put out there, and I thought it was very good, and it still sticks with me. Pickett and Jalen throw different balls. The way they throw it, it comes out differently. So maybe that might have threw off Devontae yesterday, the way that ball was thrown at him. You know, maybe how Jalen was throwing it to him. So that plays a big factor. But again, this is what I'm saying. Like, we just got to play better ball. We got to be ready for whatever option comes our way.
I ain't worried about nothing. I'm not. Personally, I'm not worried about nothing. And then the reason why I'm not worried about anything is because we got the number 2 spot locked up. It's ours. Ain't nobody coming for it. It is what it is. We play better away anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like, just roll the ball out there. Let's go, man. Doesn't matter to me. But I will say this to the non-Jalen Hurts fans. I hope you see the importance of having Jalen's arm and legs. I hope you see it because it's very imperative. You can see it. That's the reason why Saquon was getting stopped the way he was getting stopped, because they crashed down on Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is a great scrambler. He's good at it. I mean, I'll never forget what he did at college. Remember against Pitt? He did the fake slide and then Yeah. He, you know what I mean? He can do that, but he ain't Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? So for all them non-Jalen Hurts people, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, do you think about this the amount of points that the Eagles gave up in the fourth quarter was crazy. I mean, that's they gave up more points than they had in recent weeks. I mean, teams were averaging, way under. Like, the fact that we put up as much as we did, 33 points, and still lost the game, that would, to me, that, again, like you just talk about the way that they were gassed at the end of the game. Those guys were gassed.
Well, think about how last game ended versus how this game ended. When you have Jalen Hurts in the game, you can control the clock. When you have Kenny Pickett in the game, especially coming off of ice, literally coming off of ice, that bench, it must have been frozen out there. I mean, he's not going to be as sharp as if he was part of the number 1 game plan all week long. He was coming in off of ice, and you're hoping that he can fill in, man. Jalen Hurts, if he's in there, I think that you control the clock a lot better. I think it's not even close. So, yeah, I'm not worried, man.
Now, Julie brings up the point: 5 turnovers and only 3 points. That's bad. I think the way that they, it was interesting. They went for that kick at the end. At the end of the first half, I was like, maybe he gets it, but I just think I'm looking for a positivity point. I got that from Jake. Got some positive vibes making those kicks at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. But obviously, you want more points off of those turnovers.
Yeah, if he made that 50-yard line, the one from 50, we've been up. I think we're about like 9, right? Going into halftime, or 6.
Well, I mean, it would have been a 36-36 game if he.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Nick, who attended the tailgate the last couple weeks ago. He says, "Congrats to the Commanders on winning their Super Bowl with a dub against the." And to me, I'm like, the way that that game was going. Like, obviously, if we do see the Commanders in the playoffs, I'm not afraid of who we play. With Jalen under center, I'm not afraid of who we play.
It will be nice to see them in the playoffs, but they got to make the playoffs, and right now it's not in their favor. So it is what it is. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and being there, the place went nuts. I mean, things were thrown up in the air like if it was confetti and everything.
Oh, that was the Super Bowl.
Did you see the video? Did you see the video in the locker room? It like they won a Super Bowl. I was like,
I commend them when, like, bro, you like, we know what like the vibe of that team and the franchise was kind of garbage. Mm-hmm. Like, we know even the stadium, it matched the vibe of the stadium. Jalen Daniels gives them new life, new energy. Like, the fact that he's doing some of these things, I don't think any other quarterback that they've had could do some of those things against this team, but he did. So I mean, I saw a guy in front of us, Commander fan, on the ground crying. Like he was praying to whatever he was doing, the
God's
like the Catholic, like he was crying. And I was like, wow, man is really in his glory. I guess, again,
I
he felt alive.
was I don't know if you guys remember, there was one Kenny Pickett slide where they ended up calling a personal foul on like a roughing the passer, and then they picked
when
the
he
flag
got hit
up.
in the head.
Yeah. He, to be fair, he didn't really get hit on the broadcast. But I just thought it was so funny because you think back to how the Eagles' perfect season was taken away, and it was that exact play. It was a roughing the passer.
BG,
Yep.
BG.
And I was like, man, the poetry of the NFL had that played out like that, and that's what ended the game. That would have been great, but obviously didn't.
James asked, "Do you think Kenny Pickett's tiny hands had anything to do with us losing?" His hands were mentioned many a times in the crowd.
Hey, I will say this though, he was throwing that damn ball to AJ, bro.
He
was throwing that damn every time. He said, "Oh, hey, number 11's up there somewhere." He's throwing that at Jawn, so I gotta give it to him. The interception though. Come on, bro. You literally looked at AJ and just threw it right to Louisville. Like, come on. Bro.
But that's a kind of difference that, like, a franchise quarterback, Jalen, we might be upset that he holds on to the ball too long. But what he's not doing is making a mistake and turning the ball over. You know what I mean? And that's what makes you a QB1.
And he's not taking situation sacks like that.
Yeah.
That was 2 bad sacks that Pickett took, man. I was like, what are you doing? The one he slid up, I was like, what are you doing?
Well, there was also a 3rd and 8 where he had rolled out of the pocket. And I remember mid-game, Prime was telling me, like, bro, you got to stay in the pocket. He had a clean pocket that he rolled out of. But again, this is it all goes back to, like, hasn't played a game in a year. You got to knock the rust off, and it just is what it is. Like, you just got to knock the rust off. Just the fact that we're talking about him knocking the rust off, and I saw a little rust from some of our star players. I was like, come on, man! Like because the play that I guess that's a play that was knocked out of AJ's hand by Lattimore. The drop on by Saquon and Smitty, those are your 3-star players. So obviously they have to, like, you can't. I think I left that game saying the one word in my brain was like, this team lacked focus.
Yeah, we mentioned a lot during the game. That's something they're going to talk about tomorrow. That's something they're going to talk about tomorrow. That's something they need to talk about tomorrow. It was topics. They were just giving us topics left and right to talk about today in their team meeting, because there was just a lot of shit they needed to fix. At the same time, they kind of like hurt themselves. They just needed to play some. I keep on repeating myself, but they needed to play better disciplined ball yesterday, for real.
I agree. But at the same time, I'm not saying that they obviously did. You can't have star players coming out of the game like CJ, GJ. You have to be more in control. You can't give up stupid personal fouls and give up 15 yards. But I also don't want this defense to not have a personality. This defense and the way that they play, I think that the results that we get and the turnovers that we get is them just playing, hard-nosed football, man. I think that it's them not being tame. You don't want your defense to be tame. You want them to cause a ruckus,
Mm-hmm.
But Evan, I gotta tell you, man. I know Gail had took a short video of us, like, in the beginning of the game before it had even started, about the adrenaline. I mean, the adrenaline in my body was keeping me warm, man. Like, my mouth went off on these people yesterday.
Yeah.
The way that game was going, the way that defense, it was just like exciting to see the defense in that first quarter come onto the field because they were so hyped up. But but then eventually, like I said, the momentum changed. Jalen getting hurt, and they knew they had to play a little bit longer than normal because they already had it in their minds. Like, they were getting 3 and outs like crazy against, they were getting them off the field and they were bringing the offense on. But man, God, I was just so ready to just like continue. I started yelling out, "This man's going to have 300 plus rushing yards
I
and
was
three
like, I was,
touchdowns
I was like,
today."
I was like
Like it was
300 yards prime. I was like, okay, maybe
nah,
200.
going that route. It was going that route.
You know,
For the
It's a
ones that don't
shame.
know, Prime, when you're at the game with Primo goes off and he doesn't know how to shut up. And there's sometimes it catches you and it nips you in the ass.
It does.
It does. The Panthers game that me, you, and Gail sat in the cold for. Oh my God. Listen, Eagles up. It was like 21. It was like 21-0. Second half comes, all three of us just so.
Mark Bird talk about he thinks that Kenny Pickett was locking in too much on AJ. You guys agree? I mean, I see what he's saying, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I don't blame Kenny Pickett coming in here and relying on his top target. Like AJ Brown is a dominant force in the NFL, and he is a guy that I believe he's one of those guys like, oh, chuck it up, he's down there somewhere. He's one of those guys.
well, I did see him. I was thinking that, and then all of a sudden, the way that everybody, just from alignment standpoint, you could tell when they're going to run a slant. I mean, I can tell when the slant is geared up, it's coming. But that, I mean, that's how Lulu picked that pass off, because they knew he was locking in on 11. But again, like at that point in time, you play your strengths. And AJ Brown did talk about in the presser after, at his locker, he said, it's not like it's the first time I talked to, Kenny about routes or anything. Like this is stuff we talk about. He's like, I talk about, our routes and the concepts to all our quarterbacks, not just Jalen. He's like, this is something that we talk about. This is nothing new. But when you have a guy like that, you're gonna lock in on him.
And Kiki brings up an interesting point. You talk about they didn't throw to my son.
Yeah, I think
angry dad. I was waiting on this.
I am kind of sitting here because I'm looking at the target breakdown. You got
Tim was definitely waiting on this.
What
I say on the phone?
4 players that got targets this week, and Saquon and Kenny each got 1 apiece. So really, it was just spread the ball between AJ and Devontae. Listen, I know what I just said, but I guess you got to spread the ball out more, man. I didn't realize that was the case until I just looked.
Are you the dad that goes up to the high school coach after the game?
Why aren't you throwing to my son?
Hey,
why can't he be worked into the game plan? He's here at practice every week. Why can't you work him in?
This is where Tim comes in. Why, Tim?
Because your son can't block.
James says, good chance we see Washington in the
yesterday, Evan. He was.
So I mean, my thing is we need Dallas back, and there's the thing. Like we're missing Dallas Goedert. We will have Dallas Goedert the next time we reach the playoffs. We should be at full strength, and then this kind of plays into my scenario of like where the Eagles are at and where their decision is to play their players. That you beat the Cowboys, and if they don't need to put all their assets in the table for the last game against the Giants, this is where, we see Kenny Pickett for another week and rest up Jalen if they have to. I don't know where they're at with that, but I think it's interesting because now you're trying to figure out, like, we're not playing for the 1 seed.
Right.
Do we give the players that need a bye to get healthy?
But would it be shit that Adam Schefter just came out with?
What happened?
Adam Schefter just mentioned that if the Eagles were to rest their players in that last game against the Giants and let the Giants win, that would mess them up from being in the number 1 or 2 spot of the draft and automatically bring them down to number 7.
They're losing, bro. They're losing.
Yeah,
they started
Eddie, they're gonna have a sign. They're gonna have a sign. Can anybody play quarterback?
They were like, he was like, they would never get the
We
quarterback.
need Shador.
See that right there. That's like next level thinking.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. I mean, let's think about it though. Let's think about it. Like the Cowboys, they ain't got no playoff. They ain't got no playoff desire. Neither the Niners. So
I said that to Gail yesterday as we were driving. I was like, well, the good news is San Fran and Dallas just got eliminated after us losing.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Something else I'm not mad at is shout out to Underdog Fantasy, man. Holding us down out here. You know what I mean? Holding us down out here. But I'm saying Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going off? Which ones are ice cold with over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won? Underdog makes it easy and fun to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances. Or we're talking about some plays, some entries we thought about last week. We said Saquon over 100. That was correct. So I think this is another week for you Eagle fans who you want to play on, Underdog Fantasy using the promo code Jawn. You can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on some of these stats. I think Kenny Gainwell did get under or over 20 yards over. You said last week.
Kenny Gainwell got
Kenny Gainwell had 7 yards.
Okay, I mean this is one to monitor. Like this usually he's not either going over. I'd say he's around 20 something yards a game. But this week, I'd say over.
I'd say he's going to have over 25 all-purpose yards.
But yeah, I mean, I think so far the experience has been awesome on Underdog Fantasy. I think Evan he's the one that's leading the way. He's teaching the old dogs new tricks when it comes to Underdog Fantasy.
All different types of games.
But download the app, sign up with your promo code Jawn, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code Jawn. Must be 18 years older, 19 years older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 years older in Colorado for some games, 21 years or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado for some games. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
And in the spirit of hope, do you guys have hope that Nolan Smith is the true future edge opposite of Josh Sweat? Because I mean, another sack from my boy, 2 fumbles recovery. He's all over the place. He is really blossoming this year. Do you think that Nolan Smith is going to be our starting edge opposite of Josh Sweat for years to come? Has he proven that?
I think he's proven that. I think I also think he doesn't have his NFL body yet. I think his strength's getting there. Mm-hmm. I think his technique is getting there.
Another training camp worth of eating and training.
He's got juice though, he's got the juice, man. He does have the 4.3 high 4.3 speed. People tend to forget.
I need a new celebration.
Terrence asked, he said, "What's up, Fourth and Jawn? How you guys doing? Merry Christmas." See Terrence brought the Christmas vibes. I know Tim and Prime brought their Christmas sweaters. Didn't even
Bahang Bug.
So did me and Ev, are we the Grinches?
Yes. I'm wearing a gift from you.
Oh, nice.
On hoodie. So nice. I guess that's in the spirit.
And you're in the spirit too, Gail. You're wearing shout out to Swoop LA, City LA. You know,
I already saw Andrew.
Oh, what's up?
Appreciate him. But Drew brings up, he says, Milton got a roughing passer too, right? He did, which was, God. I mean, I don't want to feel like I don't want to be OG, but in my day, golly, I said you the way they call roughing the pat, bro. That's like two-hand touch.
It was bad.
Yeah,
It was bad.
it's soft. There's no other way about it. But that's the league now.
So 843 drum legend says Reed Blankenship's interception. He could have ran in for pick 6, but he slid down instead. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I think he was just trying to protect the ball, make sure he didn't get snuck from behind.
I didn't even realize.
I noticed on one of the Eagles' turnovers, Devontae Smith attempted a really almost a good punch on the ball. Yeah. So I think he was looking out for exactly that on his own.
Adrian says, Merry Christmas, guys. I'm heading out, but I'll be at the tailgate on Sunday. First time at the Cowboys home game for me.
Nice. You see that our schedule has changed?
Which is totally, I used some profanity when I found this out. 1 o'clock games suck. I'm telling you right now, like they suck. They suck for tailgating. They suck for people who set up tailgates. They suck for
Dude, the propane
spouses.
Freezes this time of year, bro. It sucks.
You got to get up early.
Get a jacket for my propane.
Well, this is what happens when you suck. Cowboys suck.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. 1 o'clock. Prime, you like 1 o'clock games?
Nope.
Tim?
Nope.
Can I be real?
You like them?
Prefer the 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. You're the Grinch. You're definitely the Grinch.
Prefer the 1 o'clock? Come on, man. Why do you prefer the 1 o'clock?
Well, you see, as a frugal gang president, I don't go into the games. So when I watch a 1 o'clock game, I'm on the couch for the 1 o'clock game, and I'm already sitting for the 4 o'clock slate. You know what I mean? If I'm there for the 4 o'clock game,
shut up.
Time out.
What?
Time out. You know damn well you should be pausing the damn game to watch it with your pops. You don't even watch it. Shout out to Pops. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I hope your dad smokes cigars every time
Facts.
when you're watching the game.
Cut the cable.
He does.
Now, Daniel brings up a nice point. Last time we split with Washington, Hurts got hurt late in the season. We made the bowl. How about that?
What did I just say?
Where do y'all reach for this shit?
What did I just say? I said history repeats itself, bro.
Well, if I'm just doing the injury history of Hurts. In 2021, Hurts missed a Week 13 game with an ankle injury. The Eagles beat the Jets with Gardner Minshew. And in 2022, Hurts missed 2 games with a shoulder injury.
Yep.
Eagles lost both games. They both lost to the Saints and the Cowboys. Again, they had Minshew filling in. He returned to the lineup, and the Eagles led the Eagles to the Super Bowl. In 2023, Hurts didn't miss any games, had a knee injury, but wasn't really effective as a runner. And now we have the concussion.
Minshew is literally just Mark Sanchez Volume 2.
He was. I agree with you on that one. That's a good quote, bro.
That's what he was.
Sports King is on his NFL script conspiracy play here. He says, "Man, I'm convinced it was too much money on the Eagles to win. I'm sorry, call me crazy, but something just feels funny about that game."
I mean, dude, I thought it was a really entertaining game, to be honest with you. It was obviously it sucks as an Eagles fan for them to come back and win it. But turnover, like there was a lot of positives, individual plays that I can take away from that game. The overall result is unfortunate, but I think that there's mistakes that were made by people that I count on as playmakers, and I would count on next week to be a playmaker. So it just didn't happen this week. I think the only thing I care about is making sure that it happens when the time is right in the playoffs. If that happens in the playoffs, it's a totally different conversation. But if you just like Jake Elliott, like people want to talk about throughout the year, the missed kicks that he has, and it deserves to be talked about because he hasn't lived up to his contract this year. But if he shows up and if Jake Elliott ends up winning a game in the playoffs with a field goal, all of those missed field goals this year get forgotten about. You know what I mean? It's about showing up when it matters.
Shout out to Joseph. He's a longtime tailgate goer. He says, "Hey, y'all, coming from Williamsport with the fam. Mama says hi and misses everyone." If I'm not mistaken. Mama is a Cowboys fan.
Oh.
Am I correct?
Stop.
Prime, where did you get that hat? 843 Drum Legends says it is fire.
They actually have it at Lids. They still have them at Lids. I got it at Lids.
It looks like the Eagles eating Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but I mean, I got the I got this version, and I got the midnight green version as well.
Shout out to Conrad. He says that was a tough one, bros. To be honest, it was like I said, man. I feel alive in those types of situations. Like, in a way, I'm just saying, like, when you some people just are very passive when it comes to life, and they just these kind of things. I feel like I'm part of something. I'm watching. This is great. This is like, we're high fiving me and Prime. Like, it was fun. We ran into a guy that went to our tailgate last week. Just running up the steps. I think he was drunk as a skunk by the fourth quarter. I don't know if he made it out of the parking lot, but he had a good time. Everyone had a good time. I mean, just overall, I had a good time.
Evan, are you doing this behind the scenes or something?
What are you talking about?
Asking for help because somebody thinks that we're bullying you?
I did. I saw that comment right now.
Don't let them bully you, Hollywood.
I didn't even realize I was getting bullied. I think
First of all, he's our little brother, so we're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
He's the youngest one.
He's not young anymore, man. Man, he's older than Dallas Goedert, man.
Oh, he's 30.
He looks older than
me. Bro, he's
got a 401k.
Yo, 4 more years, you'll be older than Jesus. Old.
I mean,
old, bro.
I mean, that was.
If you guys have any questions, bring them up. We'll talk about your point because we love your input as well. Kev says, "Do you guys think that Sirianni should have chose to run on that 4th and 7 to drain the clock out?" I thought about that. I thought about him running one of them plays just to eat some clock, but
I don't know. I thought it was a decent game plan given the circumstances. I think Sirianni called the game plan to win the game. I think the execution just didn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, man. I don't know. Or Gail might have been saying it, but I'm not mad at the loss. I guess just what made it difficult was just we were the ones that walked out of that stadium having to go through all that crowd and hearing that. But there was a lot. There was a lot of green in that building, and a lot of us were walking out of there with our heads held high. Like, we're still on top of the division. We still have the momentum is still on our side. I'm not worried about that. But if there's anything that I am like, I would have had loved, and Gail mentioned this, I would have loved to walk out of there chirping even more. I mean, really chirping even more. But that wasn't the case.
Shout out to Harold. He says this game was a measuring stick. Now we plan accordingly. And my thing is, like, even if we know what happened, like, as Eagle fans, like, there might be a random fan named Darlene in the chat who's going ham. But, like, anyone who's a fan of this team, who, again, not national media, fan of this team, we know what happened when Jalen left the game. It's a totally different type scenario. We're talking about certain parts of the playbook are missing now. Like, it changed the whole parameters of the offense, and they still put up 33, which to me, I'm looking at for positivity strengths. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, wow, they played pretty decent for a guy who hasn't played in a year or in preseason. Like,
that's what I mean. It came in cold, and I don't know what the weather is looking like for this next week. But I mean, looking at where, I mean, I think Saquon is just south of 1,900 yards right now. Are you giving him the biggest spoon in the drawer and just feeding him? Feed Saquon till the end of the year? Saquon. Like, we've come this far. Are you sitting here and you're like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
is that your moral victory? Him getting the rushing title? I mean, breaking the record.
I'm trying to place myself in the mind of Nick Sirianni. It doesn't matter what I think. It's about what is Nick Sirianni going to do. Nick Sirianni, I think, is of the mindset of we've come this far. Let's try and get him the record. Do you guys agree?
I think he's going to push him for the record. He's that dude.
I think it's a moral victory, and again, if it all aligns right, I think it's cool. I think it's cool to get it. I think it's a monumental record for his legendary status.
He's at 1838 right now.
But so he needs the average of 138 yards a game.
268 yards away.
If he goes stupid versus the Giants on the last game of the year,
Yeah, but 122.
He can go
130. He can do that.
He does 100 versus Dallas, which seems like easy work for him. And then he goes stupid versus his ex team in the last game of the year.
Bucky Irvin went off on Dallas. Yes.
Here's the scenario. He's going to go
267 yards left.
He's going to go 267 against the Cowboys on Sunday, right? He's going to have 1 yard to take against the Giants, and then that's it. He's taking his gear off.
But the thing I like the way about him breaking this record, because he can easily break off an 80-yard run at any given moment. So I feel like, we could still keep you on the carries and still get that yard. So I'm gonna be cutting out, but before I cut out, I want to just go ahead and mention how yesterday I felt like Gail was bullying me in the stands.
Speak on it.
The way we were running that ball and throwing that ball, my man was pounding on me like he was tossing me on the other side of the damn aisle. Like, that's how soup. I haven't seen Gail soup like that in a minute.
Yeah.
He was just
That's
like,
Gail.
yeah.
That's Gail. That sounds like Gail.
And on that
Merry
note,
Christmas, bro.
Merry Christmas.
Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all next week. All right.
All right, man.
You and the fam, man.
Go
I'm gonna
Birds.
see you soon on that one. All right.
Go Birds.
This goes back to my last point of my last say it with your chest about Christmas shopping. See, Prime is
where you at?
Wait, Prime is a perfect example of someone who didn't prep mentally for his Christmas shopping. So now
the Matrix.
Now he's sitting here thinking about.
You all wrapped and under the tree?
No, I still got all. I got all my presents. I'm ready to go.
All my gifts are wrapped right now.
Done.
All my gifts are wrapped. All I gotta do is cook tomorrow.
I took my brother to the mall. I said, "Yo, what you want, bruh? You pick it out." And I did the same thing. I picked out something, and it was perfect. That was the last one I had to do.
I think I'm gonna hold on. I gotta say it with my chest.
Okay.
I gotta say it with my chest too. Yeah. I think it might be some controversy.
Okay, we'll be ready for it. We still haven't figured out what CJ said, Heather. I'm still wondering where. Some people might have said maybe he said the N-word. Ninja. If you get my jest.
I think
because I said the NFL was cracking down on the N-word.
Evan, how do you feel about this?
Evan's like,
I have no comment.
I have nothing to say.
What you mean?
Ryan says it with his chest. I know it's not say it with your chest yet, but he says we would have won if Smith didn't drop the pass. And that's truth. That's the truth, Mom. But like I can't be. I don't like to be the woulda, coulda, shoulda guy. It's just if it was meant to be, it would have happened. I did like the way that he answered the question. He owned up to it. Now that's what you like.
It's maturity.
Right.
That's cap.
Kev's not concerned. We got to bounce back.
I agree.
Got to bounce.
Now DMJ says, did anybody know any word on Goddard's progress?
I mean,
I think
he's missed missed 3 games, right? So this will be the last one he's missing because he's on IR, so he has to miss 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be active Giants game.
Either for the Giants game, depending on whether or not I guess they're playing their starters.
Yeah, I wonder when we're going to see Bryce Huff.
I think we'll have the Bryce Huff
he should be
game
back,
shortly.
Right? Yeah, I think he should be back.
Bryce Huff goes ham, 3 sacks.
Watch.
Then he comes up with the Huff dance.
And the Hailer.
Pete says, "Do y'all think you all think they look forward to seeing the commies in the playoff?" My thing is, it's that looked like an NFC East football game last night, yesterday. That's what I like the intensity of that. That was cool. That was, but I do think when it's all said and done, when we see you in the playoffs, we should be at full strength with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert back in the offense is a big deal.
And think about we literally call him the Slim Reaper ever since he came to the squad. He is just cold blooded. He shows up. Devontae Smith, I think after years of watching him and seeing how he operates as a player, do you think for a second that he isn't thinking about that drop? Do you think for a second that he knows that's not like, no, I'm not trying to say weighing on him like it's a bad thing. I'm more so saying like motivating him, because I think that type of thing, him failing in that moment, I think is something that'll push him moving forward for the rest of the season, making sure he's that much more calculated and technical.
I think that's part of being professional. I think when you're a professional athlete, and that's what you get paid $20 million to do. I remember dropping a punt in college, and I was doing well with punt returns, no problems at all. This is second nature. I drop a punt, lose the game for my team. I couldn't catch a punt for the rest of my career. I said, you know what, coach? I'm good. I'm not doing punt return anymore. I'm not taking that pressure. Mm-hmm. Some people, that's a real deal. Now when I see the Britton Coveys of the world out there catching their punts, and people don't realize what kind of stress that is. It's a lot of stress. But I think I had a video saved in our media thing, but I had deleted it. It was a pre-draft video of Devontae Smith talking about his practice routine before practice. So he catches like 1,000 balls at practice. This is at Alabama. He's been doing this whole career. And when it's just odd, of all people, for him to drop a pass like that. We're talking about the guy as a freshman who wins the national championship for Bama on a go route to win the game, runs over the camera, man. He is as clutch as you get. Heisman Trophy, he is as clutch as you get, and it just happens to the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, hands down to me, best hands on the team. Mm-hmm. My opinion, it happens, man. It's part of sports. You just gotta brush yourself off and get up again. Like I said, man, hats off to the Commanders.
Would have caught it.
Oh man, the legend continues to live in Philadelphia, bro.
Rob says after the win Sunday, Barkley will be sidelined. Get the Super Bowl, not asterisk footnote. And now, if you think about it, for the old heads out here who know that Dickerson got this done in 14 games?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know Eric Dickerson is probably like, congrats, but I did it in less.
Yeah, but Eric Dickerson beat the record from a guy who played even less games, didn't he?
That's a good question there, Ev.
I'm pretty sure that I've had this conversation recently.
Kev is flexing. He said all my presents are wrapped and ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Smart man, Kev. Smart man.
Yeah, Pete asks, yes, I've finished my Christmas shopping. I have to buy some I might be giving away my gift. I have to buy some lottery tickets for someone.
I was going to say Jim Brown, but I wasn't.
Jim Brown did it in 12 games, and then Eric Dickerson did it in 14. So,
shout out to Brianna. She's a Merry Christmas. See y'all Sunday bright and early. She's going to her tailgate. See, I always tell people if you're a regular at the tailgate, it's your tailgate. Right?
That's right, man.
Sure,
Yeah, absolutely. Have a cheesesteak, have a bacon, egg, and cheese if I made it.
Mark asked, "Did your brother get a big ticket item?" I
Record player.
I'm a sneaker connoisseur, so
Got a work of art.
I coerced him into getting some new sneaks with some extra petite help.
Okay.
Got the New Balance 574s, brown suede, fresh to death. You know,
nice.
classic cut. You know.
You know what? The next thing I want D to do, Dwayne. I want to see Dwayne at a 4th and Jawn tailgate.
Well, hopefully he hears you.
Yeah. Hopefully, I want to see you at a tailgate.
Mark is asking for Evan medical moment.
Dallas will be back next week, hopefully, and Bryce should be back. I think he should be eligible this week.
Byron Bull says Eagle fans are very salty.
I'm okay with the loss. I think I've been saying that all the whole show.
You know what? It's just people. He's got to be a Dallas fan. He's just.
He might be an Eagle fan.
Nah, I saw other comments. He's not an Eagle.
Yeah, I saw other comments. B. He's like we all of us just said and said hats off to the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
and I, you know what I hate when people say you almost lost. That's like like
that's
I almost
another way of saying y'all beat.
Like shut up. Shut up.
I'll tell you, I'm not salty. I would tell you if I'm salty.
Yeah.
I just feel like it is what it is. Shout out to Mark Huertas. I'm late to the show, but quick points. Kickoff returns were a real problem for us yesterday, and Calcaterra can't block for Hee-Haw. Goddard coming back will be huge for our run game. It will. Jalen Hurts will be big for a run game. Mm-hmm. Those RPOs.
Where was our fullback that we activated?
We didn't get underneath. We didn't get under center not one time. That's what was irritating me the most part. It was like, let's get underneath center. Let's knock them off balance. The defense. Nah, they just kept on crashing down.
Activated him just not to play him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
SB Luke says Tim, CJ, DJ, and Brown are black. How is calling him a ninja wrong?
I didn't say anything. What?
Oh, maybe that was me. I mean, because this was a thing. This was a thing in the league. Everyone was like, "How are refs gonna say throw a flag for this?" And like, the refs like, "I am offended. I am offended. Give him 2 flags." I mean, because CJ was walking out of the stadium with Big Dom. He was like, "Yo, what did I do?"
Yeah,
I don't even know. It's like I don't even know what I did,
bro. When he was on the sideline and we were watching it on TV, you were probably there in person. You were there in person. When he was walking to the sideline, he's like, "What did I do? What did I do?" And then Dom's like, "No, we gotta go. No, we gotta go."
Dom knows.
His helmet just fell off. Yo, and I don't know who it was, but somebody like reached over to see DJ's face and just took his face mask off, and he just walked with Dom. It was mad funny. Oh, it was mad funny.
Yeah. Shout out to Heath. He says, all right, peep this all out, y'all. Let's say Hurts out or rested to the playoffs. You think we can win the next 2 with Kenny picked off or Tanny McKee, who's never played an NFL game? I do think so. I do think Tanner McKee could beat the Giants.
SP Lou wants to talk about one thing and one thing only.
Shout out to SP Lou. SP Lou. He ain't letting this Jawn go, son.
But we're
gonna talk about it.
He could be he could be one that is not down with the ninja, use of the ninja.
Yeah, I mean,
some people don't like to use it. Some people do.
Sure.
Some people use it as a term of endearment. Shout out to Tribe Called Quest fans who there's a song. It's called Sucka Ninja. Use your imagination.
Sounds like some quality programming.
We're talking about ninjas, man. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about nothing.
Yo, this is going left real quick.
Nah, but honestly, I just we appreciate you guys in the comments. We love the banter. Obviously, some people were might say Eagle fans are salty. No, we're out here having a good time. It's almost Christmas Eve. We hope that you guys are getting in the right vibes and spirit, and I think y'all just are ready for Christmas and have a good time with your fam. As he said, this John don't make sense. Yo, I'm twisted about this. We need to get up on this.
Yo, fact. Hey, so hit us up and let us know. That is mad funny. People
Hey.
don't like Ninja Turtles.
Hey, don't. Hey, the Ninja Turtles are here.
So I got Ninja Turtles in the back, B. Come on, son.
Come on,
everybody
man.
love Ninja Turtles, son.
We got all of them out here. Bro.
Right.
Come on now. Don't be hating on my Ninja Turtles.
Facts, B.
Yeah, man. So usually we talk about we didn't do any we didn't give away any game balls.
No,
because not lost. But usually we do a say it with your chest before we get out of here. We're doing a say it with your chest and the last word. But usually we say it with your chest is just something you need to say. It doesn't have to be football related. Be anything that you want to get off your mind.
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Say
I'm
with your
gonna let
chest.
you go last because you usually are good. So
No, you
got a
go
debate.
first. You go
I
first.
got a good debate though. So I know you guys. It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. Shout out and definitely want to say this. Shout out to my mom. My mom's birthday is tomorrow, Christmas Eve. She hates it, but Mom, I love you, and go Birds. Shout out to
You be
my
skipping
mom.
on it. You be skipping on gifts.
Who, my mom's? Man.
No, I'm saying Christmas Eve, like her Christmas gifts.
Nah, my mom got her groove back. She got a boyfriend. She in Vegas, so it's all good. Yeah, she got a groove back. Okay. But I got to put this in the air, man. Top 5 Christmas movies. Want an honorable mention? Are you guys ready for this?
Okay.
Top 5.
Okay. Elf, number 1. Grinch, number 2.
The
Christmas Story. Oh, Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Jim Carrey. You know what I mean? Die Hard. Okay. Friday After Next. What? Absolutely not. No.
Friday After Next.
Friday After Next.
That was the Die Hard. My thumbs down.
You're crazy, man. Christmas Vacation, right? And then so that's like 6. But I'm gonna do honorable mention here. You ready? You ready for honorable mention?
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic, B. Classic.
Jingle All the Way.
You don't like Jingle All the Way?
Never seen it.
You can't say trash. You've never seen it, Gail.
It sounds like a shitty title.
It's Arnold, man.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, bro.
There's a whole lot of that. It's awesome.
There's a lot of that. It's a lot. That's what makes it so perfect. That's what makes it so perfect, bro.
Get to the chopper.
Stop it, Tim. That's a trash list, Tim. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're perfect with it.
Yeah, I do a little.
All right, can I get your Home Alone? Oh, I forgot about Home Alone. So I got 10.
That's my number 1. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You got 10 movies in your top 5. I got you.
This guy's top 5.
I said I should have made a top 10, but I wanted to make it quick.
No. So my say with my chest is also Christmas related, but it more so has to do with just a reminder. You're doing a lot of Christmas shopping out there. I think that it's important that everybody should get a Christmas gift for themselves, bro. No one knows you like yourself, and I think that what, Tim, you looking at me like I'm crazy.
I got kids. Expensive, B.
It don't have to be. You don't got to break the bank, man.
Son.
You don't got to break the bank.
Son.
Something that makes your life a little bit easier. You don't know, but you got to treat yourself. That's what I'm saying. Treat yourself.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
See, I'm just saying. I was buying gifts for people. Then I scored my. I got a little. Some Air Trainer 3s.
Dude, this got an Air Trainer 3s.
Some shopping.
All right, Bo Jackson. All right, Bo Jackson.
30 bucks.
Nice too.
That's not bad. 30 bucks, okay. I can get down with that. 30 bucks, I can get down.
I said I didn't feel bad because it was the price is right, and I could continue my shopping list.
See, I'm a dad, bro. I got
Air Trainer 3, very, very nice.
I can't do it. That's like, I got the wife. I can't do it, bro. I always got kids come first. As long as the kids is fed, that's how I'm programmed. You know what I mean?
Pete says that his Christmas Eve His dad's birthday was on Christmas Eve.
Hey,
What?
to my mom.
Sorry, he's not here, Pete. But you gotta do something for Pops to celebrate. Something he would like. You got to do. That's
his favorite drink, his whatever. You know?
That's what I do, man. Anyone who's not around that you want to celebrate, you got to do something that they like.
Most stuff.
100%. I agree.
Okay. Jerome says, I tried to do that the other night to get that Cunningham hat for Mitchell Ness, and I failed. I just want to let you know.
He's scrambling. He's back scrambling.
Jerome, I just want to let you know that I did try, and I did not fail.
Okay. All right. I take that back. I did get that hat.
Wow. Heather coming from the top rope talking about eggnog.
Yeah, I did get that hat. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, I just forgot about I did cop that hat yesterday.
I was gonna wear the hat on the pod today, but I don't want to flex. But eggnog is not ass.
I want to also throw.
You're bugging. What?
No, eggnog's good, and I know Primo will be talking up coquito right now because that's also
Autumn did make coquito.
That's just great.
Good.
Tim also did not fail on the hat. He's good.
He got the hat?
Yeah. Shout out to Perk. Any other Jerome, see, you gotta hit me up. And then I could help you out.
I got some adult words for you. Yeah.
Huh?
Hey, yo, what are we talking about here, B?
He's swearing. He's mad that he did it. No, the way that they Mitchell Ness dropped the hat, and at 1:00, they dropped it at 10:00. They dropped it at 1:00. They opened up the phone lines. Anyone who's trying to call in.
Oh, I the only reason why I got it is because my cousin went and got it.
Dub G says, "Heck yeah, Jingle All the Way."
Sinbad. Thank you. You need to watch that movie. It's a good movie, babe. It's a good movie.
Yeah, Mark, if you didn't get the hat, holler at me. We'll try to make something happen for the OGs in the chat. We try to make it for the make things happen for the people that.
Tim, you also didn't have Year Without a Santa Claus on your top 5, and that is violation.
See, that's a good
Heat Miser, bro. That's an
Heat Miser.
Song.
Yeah,
he's the GOAT.
See, I shouldn't with top 10, bro. Shouldn't with top 10. National Shampoo. I said Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, he did.
Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation is one of my favorites all time. Hands in.
All right. My say it with your chest. Are your kids aren't watching, are they?
Come on, bro.
You don't gotta say what I think you gotta say.
Yeah, don't have to say that. Why
you know what you're talking about,
bro?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm just gonna be honest, man.
You don't know whose kids are watching.
I was telling this story off air.
No, do not tell that story.
Oh my god, it's a good story.
No, it's not.
It's a great story.
No,
it is a great story.
This, bro.
It is a great Christmas story, and it speaks to the truth of how I work. I don't just do research for draft analysts. I do research on Santa. Okay.
On Santa or for Santa?
I since the kids might be watching, I won't go there.
Baby girl, Uncle Gil didn't need it. He doesn't need it.
No, it's real. You guys have a great time with
recess.
He's a menace, bro. He's a menace.
I tell my friends the truth about their gear, what they're rocking. I'm like, hey, you might want to choose a different sneaker type option. I'm not a dude. I'll tell you.
You told me I was wearing those Mario Andretti's, you know.
I told Ev, I was like, bro, you gotta stop wearing the Mario Andretti racing shoes, man. And then we hooked him up, and now he's doing well.
Did you get your first pair of Jordans yet from Gail?
I don't know. He wanted Jordans. Evan's not a Jordan guy though.
No, we said we were gonna hook him up with a pair of Jordans.
Yeah, I didn't know that was happening. Wow.
No, you were in the conversation. You were literally in the conversation.
Brianna's say it with my chest is F the Cowboys. I like that, man.
I like that.
I'm not feeling all right. Say it, if you want another say it with your chest. I don't feel like this is Dallas week.
No, I think people are just out here licking their wounds over the fact that we lost that game.
Really?
You got it. It's Monday, man. The game happened yesterday.
Well, usually Dallas week starts at midnight.
Okay, well, we just got a gut punch of a loss, and
then you got Michael Parsons talking, man,
and you don't even know if Jalen's going to be starting this week. I think that Dallas week will really start like if they just have to make an announcement on it.
Okay, man, telling me. Got me all fired up, man. I really wanted to tell the truth, but but some people were
they're lying to you out there.
Anyway, last word, Tim, before you get out of here.
Yeah, man. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys enjoy it with your family, your loved ones, and just soak this up, man. We'll be fine. I know we lost, so you can't deal with it as much. But listen, we're going to be okay. We play Dallas next week, and the weekend after that, we're going to be playing the horrific Giants. So we're going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go on number 2, and we're going to represent in the playoffs. All right? Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you. Have a good night. Merry Christmas.
Last word, Evan Hollywood Hearn.
I said it a couple weeks ago when people are feeling bad for themselves after a win. I'm going to say it after people are feeling bad for themselves after a loss. If you're scared, go to church. This team's fine, bro. We're all good. We're riding into the playoffs. We're exactly where we want to be. It was an unfortunate series of events that led us to losing that game. We shouldn't have lost it, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a regular season game, and regular season games sometimes you lose. Go Birds. We'll be fine.
Yeah, piggybacking off Ev, man. Merry Christmas to y'all, man. I just think time is a time for great presence and presence. Show up for your peoples. Make sure you're there, having a good time with your family. For those who missing family members, you gotta rep them. Gotta rep them. Make sure this is the part where you carry on tradition. Like if your parents raised you the right way, you have traditions, right?
Yeah.
So you have to start your new traditions, like rooting for Britton Covey, Pete. Start a new tradition, man. Start a new tradition.
We're gonna have to have our maybe next episode we do our New Year's resolutions. What we're gonna do, Pete? Start rooting for Covey.
He needs a kumbaya moment, bro.
See, it's just, Chris knows the deal. He says, cheers to them forever. Heavenly parents. That's right. That's what it is. I think it's Dallas week. I think everyone's got to get their mind right. I think I'm just gonna start making real salty, nasty memes versus the Cowboys just to hype up the rivalry. But I still think it's kind of Cowboys don't want to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't want to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling really good. And I'm feeling really good that I got all my presents. And the fact that the thought process was there.
I do have a question for you though. What was the one thing that you wished for Christmas this year?
Me?
My boss gave me Christmas Eve off.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay.
I
got 2 weeks off.
Merry Christmas to Nina and Merry Christmas to your moms as well.
Yeah,
you've not met or seen.
It's a dancing sensation.
Sensation.
Most definitely.
Yeah, man. I'm fired up. Man. Everyone get your what? I got my chalk line jacket. The Eagles. I got that
fire.
The fire jacket. Oh, it's a very fire jacket.
Fire.
That's all I wanted for Christmas.
Nice.
Dope.
All right. Is that good for you?
No, I was just asking. You didn't ask some question. I was like,
this guy ruined my last word. Anyway. Yeah, just Merry Christmas to all, and all the people that celebrate other things. Merry Christmas to y'all and whatever you celebrate. If you don't do Christmas,
I wish there was a term for that.
Merry Grinchmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And we'll see you at the tailgate. We'll see you at the tailgate. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, we have a tailgate, Ev.
Yeah, we do.
We have a tailgate, Ev.
Yeah, we got a tailgate on
His mind
Sunday.
just clicked. Oh, we got a tailgate.
Wait a minute.
Sunday, I guess that'll be starting at the ass crack of dawn on Sunday. Probably officially start at like 8, I would imagine. Till 12. So
we got to shout out Bud Light and Red Bull for holding down the tailgates. Shout out to Red Bull for giving the tailgate wings, and shout out to Svelli's Pizza for donating the cheesesteaks.
Delicious.
Have
been getting rave reviews on the cheesesteaks. So big thanks to them.
And shout out to Lowski Entertainment for providing the vibes. We talked about Sirianni being the vibes coordinator. Lowski Entertainment is the vibes coordinator for tailgates. And
shout out Bob Cavanaugh and Philly Sports Trips.
Yeah, shout out to Philly Sports Trips. They'll be tag teaming with us for this weekend's tailgate. Make sure you go to phillysportstrips.com to book some trips. If they're doing Philly games now, Sixers games, they're going overseas. Make sure you head over there and show them some love.
They're shipping the Sixers to China.
Are they? Just kidding. If you would you go to a Sixers game if I got tickets in the booth?
Hell yeah, man.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Would you?
I love the Sixers.
Tim? You're in Arizona, but
I would. If I was back home, I would be. Love
okay, so we'll get you on FaceTime.
Most doubt. I appreciate you. That's one thing I want to say, Gail. I appreciate you. After a game, man, you always call me. Appreciate that, bro. Just talk Eagles. I appreciate that. Gets my mind off stuff. So thank you, man.
Primo was like, he's not gonna pick up the phone, man. Tim get mad when he loses games. So
yeah, I do.
He ain't gonna pick up the phone.
He knows
bro.
me. Yeah, I'm a sore loser. I apologize.
Joey's last word. He says, "Last year I would be worried, but this year is a different team, different mindset."
That's the right mindset, Joey. 100%.
Right.
But that being said, Merry Christmas to y'all, Merry Grinchmas to y'all, and be happy, man. Enjoy your time with the fam. We will see you shortly. Hopefully, you have a Cowboys review on Thursday.
Clean the snow off your car if it snows. The kids driving down the highway, snow flying on the windshields. I got to say it with my chest. Yeah, don't be a lazy bum. That's what I gotta say. You carve out. You know what drives me crazy? Now I'm back in to say it with my chest.
Oh God!
How ignorant to just the little hole that you carve out that's that big, because you rushed in the morning and all that. Just be late. Look out have the whole windshield to look out.
This guy,
dude, you're old.
He's got a. He makes you clean off your windshields.
And don't use hot water.
Because guess what? Then I get hit, and then you ruined my day because you didn't want to take the time to clean off your windshield.
So Ev, don't leave the house without cleaning your shoes. Don't walk into some tailgate with dirty shoes.
It's a pro move, dude.
Because then you hurt my feelings when I see you with dirty shoes on.
Here's a pro move. You go out 10 minutes before you leave, and you turn on the car, and then you turn the defrosters on. And then you lock it back up so no one can take it. And then the car heats up. All the snow melts. You don't got to worry about it. Easy. Just got to work smarter, not harder.
It's the longest last word in the history of 4th and John. Merry Christmas, y'all. And we'll see you in the next one.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.